Thanks, Terry.
Thank you.
Item 17, consideration of approval of a consulting services agreement with the Lund Company Incorporated for a market analysis and developing a commercial industrial park near the intersection of Walker Road and Highway 15 Rail Campus. I believe, Jonathan, did you want to present?
Yes. Thank you, Mayor. So this is a request to sign a consulting services agreement with the Lund Company to conduct market analysis work on the eastern side of the rail campus. This will help the city better understand what they should be selling the lots for to commercial and industrial properties. This has been in direct partnership with the Rail Campus Committee, determining that we needed this sort of an analysis to make good decisions on behalf of the city as we look to plat and plan those lots for sale to businesses moving forward. The Seward LB 840 Committee has agreed to pay for these consulting services with the Lund Company, and this will work in partnership with the agreement that you already signed with Olson Associates.
Any questions? Yes.
I just want to add to it. It goes beyond what Jonathan referenced there as far as just the selling of the lots and what to market them as. The Lund Company is going to actually help us put together a complete budget for the 30 acres
Yes.
we own, and what are the costs going to be to make this usable versus obviously selling the lots, and where's the income going to be. So we actually have a budget in place on what we're looking at. So it's more than just the value of the lots and the facility.
Determine return on investment back to the city, what they'd be spending, and that's all in the scope of services on the back of the agreement.
Any other questions or comments from the council? Otherwise, I entertain a motion.
Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, please register your votes. Please display the votes.
In favor, Wilson, Camper, Miller, Singleton, Schmidt, and motion carried.
Thanks, Jonathan.
Thank you.
Item 18, consideration of awarding bid to Altech for one digger derrick truck for the electric department. Larry, did you want to say anything on this one?
If you have any questions, I can answer.
You kind of want to explain
This-
kind of the issues you're into?
Yeah, the existing truck we have is a 95 model, it's 22 years old. And we decided, we've been pushing it off to go out for a new one for several years now, and we just thought we'd better, a new one. What we would probably do is sell the old truck privately and try to get some money to offset this estimate. We went out, made specs out, and went out for bids, and we received one bid from Altech, and it's estimated, $272,000?
I think so.
Something like that, 272, around that. And John knows what, like a fire truck, what them cost nowadays. It's unbelievable.
It also is going to take a while to build it.
It takes
if it's awarded.
280 to 300 days for construction. So this wouldn't be in this budget year. This will be after next October when we receive this truck.
It's just important to remember that because it takes so long, you're essentially, if you do award the bid, that you're essentially committing for the next fiscal year,
The
budget that in there.
next budget year.
not this one. So it's kind of an odd deal because normally
It just
equipment
takes-
doesn't take that long.
And was it in our planning, our CIP projection?
It was, but for 200,000.
Yeah,
We were short.
it exceeded that.
We can go and add some money for the next following fiscal budget.
Right.
Yeah, you just have to.
Right,
That's
right,
what we
right,
planned on doing.
Right.
We just wanted to make sure that the council was aware.
No surprises,
Yeah, we want to make sure the council was aware of the difference in price, but also the timing of the whole thing is going to be projected farther out.
I've moved for approval.
And just one more thing, it's 272,
272,
313, however, we do have to pay sales tax on it, which is just under another 20,000.
I move for approval.
Okay.
With that number.
We have a motion, is there a second? We have a motion and a second for approving, for awarding the bid. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, please register your votes. Please display the votes.
All in favor, Wilson, Camper, Miller, Singleton, Schmidt, and motion carried.
Thanks, Larry.
Thank you.
His budget's done for next year.
So that's why you're gonna spend money on next year, right, Larry?
Yeah.
Is that your whole budget?
Just money.
Alright, item 19, this is discussion of allowing fishing or other recreational activities on city lakes when ice is present. Bob, do you wanna come up and talk about kinda what you found and what you recommend here? What your thoughts are?
Alright, We looked at, David City, Fairbury, Schuyler, we talked with some other towns around York, but they didn't have a city pond, but these three did. David City's probably the closest, to what we have, because Game and Parks stocks their pond like they do ours with the trout and everything, and they recommend that those trout have to be fished out, or they'll die out by spring. So, when they designed ours, that was their intent to do that. Fairbury, they don't allow ice skating, and Schuyler doesn't allow swimming in theirs. I don't think we need to have swimming the way ours is designed with the trees and stuff that they've put in there. I just see that as being a hazard for kids jumping off that dock or any of those other piers that we have there, not knowing what's below there. Where they position some of those trees and stuff, I see that as somebody being impaled or something to that effect. As far as the fishing and ice fishing, if that's what, I think if, for us, it's, it's something they enter at their own risk. I don't think we're gonna go out there and drill a hole and see how deep it is in the wintertime. But if people choose to go out there and do that, I think that's their choice. I think just the swimming part of it, for our sake, is what, we've never had any issues with kids swimming in there that I know of in the 12 years I've been here. And same with we haven't had anybody with boats or anything going out there. Just the fishing part, and I think we had some people that were out there ice fishing in 1964, when that used to be a skating pond. They did one holes drilled out there for that purpose, and I think that's when that was put in there for that reason. But now Game and Parks is putting trout and stuff in there. They're wanting that to be fished in the winter and be out by the spring. Any questions, or you guys got anything?
Any questions or comments for Bob?
I just see with the swimming part of it, with the way they set everything up, that'd be a real hazard for that.
Would the council wanna direct Kelly, did you wanna have someone do something, or do you wanna say something?
No, I was
Okay.
just looking for direction.
Yeah, so the direction as far as what the council would like to see in the form of an ordinance.
Yeah, I think I can draft something to allow the ice fishing out there. I think that'd be appropriate. That was the intent,
Okay.
was to fish that out, so.
And then we should probably have some kind of
no-
signage
yeah.
about what's not allowed, just so there's clarification, so there's no confusion moving forward, and so that law enforcement knows exactly, obviously, what's to be enforced and what not to be enforced, so. It helps if you can point to a sign, right? So, Kelly, are you good with that direction? Okay, do you need a motion on that, or? Okay, so would you like to make a motion on that, Chris?
Motion to direct the city attorney to draft an ordinance to allow ice fishing and note other items that are not allowed.
Did you want ice skating as well, or just ice fishing?
What does council think on that?
Well, the point you made earlier was, you think the reason why the ice skating,
Well, they used to have the ice house there, and they,
Right.
they had the dock going out to the water.
so it seems like if you're gonna do both, you have to somehow segregate the area, so you're not ice skating over where holes are drilled, would be my guess, is that kinda what you're thinking, Bob?
Right.
In the past?
Yeah,
Okay.
and I don't know how many people are ice fishing out there, I don't know how many holes are gonna be drilled,
Sure.
and if it's on one side or the other, and I don't know, we haven't had kids out there for years as far as playing hockey or
Okay.
ice skating, so I don't know how many, what the,
Mel, do you wanna add something?
Yeah, I'd just like to make one comment, and Bob did make a comment. There is logs placed in that pond situated for the fish and everything. So when that pond freezes over, somebody could be sticking up or just below it, if you allow ice skating, they could hit it. And it'd be dangerous for
So
them.
how about this point, not worry about the ice skating, and then the council can obviously amend the ordinance later, the draft later if they want to.
When the local hockey team comes in, we'll do that.
Okay. So we have a motion and a second.
Second.
Motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, please register your votes. Please display the votes.
Voting in favor of Wilken, Campus, Miller, Singleton, Schmidt, Hans, motion carried.
Item 20 and 21, 22, 23, and 24, and 25 are all the farm leases. Kelly, did you wanna mention anything before? We could probably do these as a group, you think?
Yeah, unless,
Someone wants to pull one out.
unless somebody wants to pull one of these lease agreements, out, they sure can. Just a quick summary, we had a farm lease auction, on February 3rd, and, it was well attended. We have, with the exception of the, 30 acres, out at the rail site, these are all 3-year farm leases, so I think it was well attended. I think they're fair, rental prices, and would just, like to have your approval on these. They are, out for signatures right now, and should have them back, all back here within the next week, and, ready to go.
Yeah, the only difference on the Heath one is for 1 year is because with the rail campus development, you give us flexibility on what might happen from year to year to year, so we're not creating other issues through contracts that need to be addressed. Did you wanna add something?
No,
Kelly?
that was my question.
Okay,
For
great.
21, yeah.
Yeah, so that's the only reason why that one's a 1 year and the others are 3. Are there any other questions or comments from the council?
I move approval for 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, please register your votes. Please display the votes.
All in favor, welcome Calvert, Miller, Seymour, Schmidt, Hand,
All right, item 26, we have the assistant administrator's report. Did you wanna say anything? Any questions or,
Nothing special in there.
any questions or comments for Bonnie? If not, I take a motion. Do you wanna add something?
Are we closer to another administrator?
We're still going through the process.
Okay.
Move for approval.
The motion, is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second, please register your votes. Please display the votes.
All in favor, welcome Calvert, Miller, Seymour, Schmidt, Hand, motion carried.
Are there any future requests for council agenda items or administrative action? Seeing none, don't have upcoming events, motion to adjourn would be in order.
So moved. Second.
Motion and second, please register your votes. Please display the votes.
Favor, welcome Calvert, Miller,
Aye.
Seymour, Schmidt, Hand, motion
Thank you all.